Jimmy Thang from Maximum PC here at the Logitech headquarters in Switzerland. I'm here speaking with Vincent. And Vincent, why don't you go ahead and hold this? And you guys are moving away from what you guys call the gold standard, or what has long been known as the gold standard in keyboard switches, being cherry switches, by designing your own switch type. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So the really the mechanical keyboards, right, and mechanical key switches have re-emerged from the past, and Cherry is clearly the gold standard. The thing about Cherry is that that's a design that was done over 25 years ago, and it was designed from a typing perspective. And Logitech's approach to making a new product is we look at what are the needs of the gamers and how we can improve their performance and their capability, right? How do we elevate the product that we make so that they can have more capability and be more successful in the games they play, especially from a pro athlete perspective. So what we've done is we've took a look at the mechanical keyboard again, and we've defined a number of different parameters that we've decided that we were going to improve upon. So the first and foremost was in the activation, right? And it's the distance that you travel until you get an activation. And we've reduced that distance by about 25% and put the activation at the very top. So what that ends up doing is it makes your actions within a game take place about 25% faster than your opponent who's using a different kind of mechanical keyboard that's not the Romer G mechanical key that we've designed with our technology partner Omron. Another thing that we did was when we focused on durability, right? Durability is incredibly important. Reliability is incredibly important to people who play games, all the gamers, whether professional or out of the broader gaming community. And what you see here is you see a contact, and there are two contacts in here. So we have a double redundancy so that when the key switch comes down, even if you pour a can of Coke in here and it fouls one of them, you still have the activation from the second side, right? So we get that durability. On top of that, we've increased the durability above our competitors by about 40%. So it goes from 50 million, and some people claim around 50 million. Ours has a life of up to 70 million switch activations. The other thing we did is if you look at some of the existing mechanical keyboards, the lighting portion of it is right on the top of the key switch. So when the illumination comes in, depending on where the key is, the laser etched key symbol is, it really has to be towards the top so you get nice, even, and bright illumination. And if you have key switches, or if you're not from North America and you have multiple symbols on the key, then that illumination does not actually spread down to the bottom, and that's just a design because these keys, the older keys, were retrofitted with lighting on the top. Instead, what we've designed is our very own exclusive lens, which is down towards the center here, that takes the lighting from directly in the center of the key switch, and it comes up right through the center, so we get very even, very bright key switches. So the lighting also enables you to be able to interact with the game, so the keyboard itself becomes intelligent. We have an SDK that's open and available for public consumption, and if you're a coder, you can take that and make that do what you want it to do. So that's a lot of the technology, and that's a lot of the things that we approach to try to make this the best keyboard for gamers, right? Because that's what we're here to do, is just focus on how we improve the gamer's performance, and then applying all of the expertise that we have to do that.
Gotcha. Can you talk a little bit about your testing? We just got out of your lab, and you guys are doing some crazy things by pressing buttons 16 times a second or something like that.
Yeah, it's actually 13 times a
13
second.
times a second.
Yeah, and the only reason it's not faster is because that's the limit of the machine that we're using. And it takes a little over 2 months, 62 days.
62 days, right?
To test to 70 million cycles, pressing the key 13 times every second. And this is kind of the rigor that we put into making every product that we do. We do the same thing with on our mice with their buttons. We tested those, for example, with the G302 Daedalus Prime. We've tested that, so essentially you can hit the button, as a user, you can hit the button 5 times every second for 10 hours a day for 2 years, and it's going to work the same across that entire duration. Really designed for reliability and robustness. I mean, it's incredible. There's all kinds of other testing that we do. There's temperature testing, there's vibration testing. It's really, it's quite the endless loop of testing just to validate that we've done everything the right way.
Yeah, I even saw a demo of you guys running, or like a video of you guys running over a keyboard with a truck, which is a very unrealistic scenario. But surprisingly, I guess according to the video, the keyboard at least still lit up when you plugged it in.
Yeah, it still lit up. It still worked. It was, obviously we don't recommend that at home, right? But and why would you run over it? But we definitely like to push the edge of the envelope when it comes to testing. We're really, I mean, gaming keyboards get so much abuse and they're so heavily used because when you sit down and play a game, you just sit down and you play the game for long durations, and in that long duration, you can't have something go wrong, right? Because there's so much enjoyment and so much pressure and performance that's tied up into that, and that's why we're so rigorous on the testing that we do and make sure that we deliver high quality, high reliability product to the community.
Are you guys going to be having different colored switches? I mean, I think people at home watching this are probably wondering what it feels like. I mean, you're saying that you can reduce millisecond from 4 to 3. That sounds great. You get even lighting, but how does it feel? How does it sound?
So it feels comparable to a brown switch, MX Cherry Brown, from a force profile perspective. It's a reduced
Actuation force. Okay.
Scale, as you guys have seen. We don't really get into the different colors, different variations. We've done a lot of research on this. We put all of the effort into trying to build the best switch for a gaming application, and that's why we ended up with the Romer G switch.
Gotcha. And speaking of which, it's a very unique keyboard in just not only the aesthetic of the top of the keycaps, but the way they're shaped. There's almost an indentation to them. Can you sort of talk about that?
Yeah, one of the things that we did was when we were doing the design, we work, as you've heard today, we work with a lot of professional esports athletes. And when we did this design, what we were looking to do is try to give a positive correlation to where you should place your finger on the key. So we have these
grooves,
performance
almost, yeah.
facets, right? And basically what that does is it gives the gamer the confidence that they've put their finger in the center of the key so they get the good activation. We did several rounds of iteration on that, including adjusting the keycap from a typing perspective as well as from a performance perspective, but keeping in mind that our objective is to deliver the best gaming keyboard that we can. We tested this extensively with esports athletes, and they loved it because it gave them the confidence that they were in the right spot to make the activation, to cast their spell or fire their shot or what have you, so that they could be more successful. So that was a big win for us from that perspective.
Awesome, cool. Is there anything else people should know about the tech behind your keyboards?
It's probably too long to go into. I mean, just rest assured, we put, as you're seeing today, right? We put a lot of effort in. We put a lot of testing. It's for us. It's about thinking about what's needed from the consumer and from the pro athlete perspective, and then delivering that, applying all of our expertise to that.
Gotcha. Thank you, Vincent.
Yep. Thank you.